Well, Danny.
Oh my God, where are we?
Oh my God, where have we ended up? So, hi everyone. Today's episode is going to be on English, and please bear with us. You know that it's always in Swedish.
Yeah.
I already feel a bit like this, but let's try to do this. Danny, where are we?
So we are in Strasbourg, in the EU Parliament, together with some guests over here. Say hi.
Hi.
And we want to know who they are, but also like what's the main issues when it comes to like social justice and injustice in their countries.
Exactly. And in today's episode, we are here in the Parliament, as Danny said, during the European Youth Conference. It's a conference that gathers young Europeans from all over Europe. I think we're like 8,000 people here?
Yeah.
Crazy.
500, yeah.
And to talk, you share experiences, and of course, as all of you know, whenever we talk, we always try to, get people to relate to each other through personal experiences. So we thought that what is better than just catch some people here and talk with them.
Yeah, exactly.
But before we start, we have to do the introduction like we always do, even if it's in English.
In English?
Yes, do it in English.
No, I'll take it in Swedish.
No, you do. Okej, do it in Swedish.
Hej, välkomna till TNKVRT-podden med Danny Lam och
Ina Råbland. Great. So, where should we begin? So, what is it that we want to know from our guests?
Yeah, so I think we talk a lot about like racism in Sweden because when you think about Sweden, you think like it's the most like what do you say, the most equal country in the world, right? But we got some issues too.
We got some issues too.
Yeah, and we want to know like from your countries if you have any issues that you think that the world doesn't really know that much about. And so I think we're gonna start with with that. You can tell just a little bit who you are and in which country you're from too.
Yes.
So
let's start here.
Okay. Hello, I'm Anna. I'm from Italy, and I had to think about a little bit on which one of the problem I have to choose. But mainly, I think the one that represents it all, it's that people are not interested in politics anymore. But in a way that they don't recognize that politics is everyday life, every day that they're like everything that surrounds them. So we have a major problem, which is abstentionism right now, and people are not going to vote. Also because our prime minister called for abstentionism in the last and recent vote for a referendum, who has to reach a quorum. So 50% of the people that has right to vote in Italy had to vote, and just 30% of them did.
Wow.
So 70% didn't. But so it's like it's already difficult to reach like 50% of people that go vote, but also 20% added to this. So so we had 70% of people didn't vote at all and wasn't interested or involved enough personally, because they have always to have been individually, involved in this to go vote. So we're lacking a little bit of empathy here.
Crazy. So abstentionism, is that what you call it?
Abstentionism.
And how would you describe that? Because this phenomenon is not so common. I've never heard of it like that.
Oh, really? Okay.
It's very common.
Lucky you. Basically, we people have the right to vote, and they don't do it. And they abstain themselves.
And
to
the prime
do it.
minister encouraged people to not vote.
And this is very it's kind of a threat to democracy, actually. Because you're telling do not exercise your vote,
100%.
and if votes are not used, they can be lost. And this is something history teaches us. So go vote, guys. Go vote, please.
Go
okay,
vote.
so and also just to add, for if there is someone listening now that is living outside of Sweden, first time in our podcast. So what we do in TNKVRT, we try to really learn and take down the barrier of learning about these topics, because it's not easy. No one was born woke or with this knowledge. For instance, this terminology we didn't know about.
We didn't know
and it's so interesting to hear about it, and it's crazy for me to hear that the prime minister is encouraging to this. It's not hopeful, but thank you so much for telling us. This is for sure something that we will like to lift
and don't
in
take
Sweden.
voting for granted, right?
100%.
If I can add something, it was illegal once to promote abstentionism And this happened when Italy was founded, because it was founded on a referendum, so people had to vote and decide.
Wow.
So
Like,
in that case it was illegal, and right now like our prime minister is doing it. So.
Oh, wow.
Great.
Wow, wow.
Yeah.
Let's move on to Dori. Yeah, thank you so much for sharing.
Yeah, thank you.
Hello everyone, I'm Dori and I'm from Hungary. And I don't even know where to begin. What is the biggest problem with our country? But always the first thing that comes to mind is our current government as a whole. But if we go more deeper in it, our democracy is in danger. The only thing keeping us still a democratic country is us being in the European Union. So please don't kick us out.
No.
That's why I feel kind of emotional even talking about the European Parliament in Strasbourg right now. But basically our government owns most of the media and they are doing everything to crush independent media so their voice are not heard. Human rights, they basically this year banned Pride, so we are the only EU country who are not allowed to host Pride. It's gonna be in 2 weeks, I will be there, see you.
Yay.
Basically what we've also talked about, if any books or any content has anything LGBT in it, it has a plastic wrapper on it, you cannot open it, you cannot read it.
Wow, really? It's like also environmental issues caused to that, which is like adding more plastic
True. And they are put in a section of a bookstore, and if you're under 18, you cannot go to that section of the bookstore. Because under 18, you cannot know about these things
LGBT.
because you're gonna become also gay if you see this.
Oh my God. Really?
I'm so sorry. That's what I feel
Yeah.
when I hear it.
But also we have the highest corruption rate in the EU, and we are the second poorest country also. So I could go for days, I think.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, but I thank you so much for sharing. I think it's really important, this topic, because especially also to know why it's important to vote in the EU elections, because in Sweden, like, people are not so aware of, like, why should I vote there? Like, what does that impact have for me? And I think that's a very privileged way of looking at it.
Yeah,
because
of course.
this is so important to really, if your country has these regulations and bans, you need to be able to rely on another type of international institution, and the European elections could be that. And it's really like horrifying to hear you say it, but it's also very
good to hear the perspective
exactly,
at least, because we see the same wave throughout Europe, right? Also in Sweden, because 100%. We got like very, very far right parties in the government, and we can see that it starts to like go like the anti-LGBT stuff and more like anti-voting rights and stuff like that.
Anti-EU also.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that's so good to listen to the other perspectives.
Yeah, and just a quick question to you, like, what would you, like, speaking like to people outside of Hungary, to Swedish society, like, what message would you want to like give to people outside of your country about the situation?
I think it's super important to raise awareness so more people know about it. And also, for example, in terms of EU, I really love to see when, for example, they are putting some sort of laws on Hungary. So they, for example, stopped giving money to Hungary, actually. So they will realize that, okay, if we want the EU money, then we need to step up our game. So I think that's why it's good to raise awareness and more people know about it.
And it's so nice because everyone that is invited here have very big platforms in their own countries, digital platforms, through content creation and being influencers and so on. So I think it's really nice that you are using your platform to raise this awareness, because I can also imagine that it's not always easy to use your platform if you're to speak about these topics. Yeah. And that is very inspiring.
Thank you. And also it's a bit scary, because if you talk too much about it, you can very quickly become an opponent for them, and then they use everything to tear you down. But what can you do?
What can you do?
Yeah.
Well,
we're here to support you.
Yeah, we're here to support you. Thank you so much.
Okay, so hi, I'm Nias, I'm from Portugal. I can talk about some problems like abstention in Portugal too. We have a lot of abstention, we have a lot of old people that don't vote. But I will talk about social problems, I can talk about desiguality and everything, but I think we can talk about xenophobia. Like that is a factor that it's increasing in Portugal, because we have a lot of people that are coming from abroad. And the reality is that Portugal needs people that are not from Portugal, because our pyramid of age ages it's like this, so we have it's like this, so we have old people like a lot, and we don't have young. We don't have a lot of birds, to be honest. So we need people from outside. We need they come to Portugal to work, to produce and everything, but sometimes they are not accepted. They are not integrated into the society.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I defend a lot is that we need to have a good integration of people that come from other countries that have a different culture from ours. Obviously, we know that can be like a shock, specifically like from old people that don't have this experience like Erasmus that we talked before. So yes, this is a problem that is increasing so much, and in my circle of friends, I don't feel that because we have people from all around the world. It's so like okay, but when I go to specific parts of Portugal, like more rural and everything, I can feel that xenophobia coming like from above, and I think we need to work on integration program to people that are coming from outside to our countries. They contribute a lot, specifically in Portugal, where as I referred, our pyramid is like this, and it's like the biggest. I think it's one of the most important things for our country right now. Obviously, these make like a lot of other problems, like housing, desiguality. So yes, I can talk a lot about this, and it's one of the favorite things that I like to debate about, because we obviously need to debate about like the problems that we need to speak about, the solutions for these problems, and I really believe that we need to have a good integration program, so we can mix everyone, we can have like this big culture there, and so our countries can like prosperate and grow and grow and grow, because Portugal really needs that right now. We are not in the perfect situation right now. We are coming back from the crisis that we have from COVID, so we really need that these all together, this feeling of we are together, we are Portugal together, and we make this together, you know.
Together.
But I think that
Together.
But I think that you said something that is really uplifting, that maybe you didn't even reflect upon it when you said it, but it's like you said that in my circle we have cultures and people from everywhere, so we don't even think about it, and that is how it should be, right? That we shouldn't even think about it. It shouldn't even be a problem that we're like from different cultures.
We should embrace it.
We should embrace it, and I think a lot of us who are like maybe, I don't know, like for me and Danny, for example, we're like second generation immigrants. Like our parents came to Sweden from other countries. We also have a lot of friends that are from, come from different backgrounds, and it's like then you don't even reflect upon that could be a problem. And the fact you said it that way, it brings me hope too, because it's like I don't even see it because all of us are different and it doesn't matter.
But from Portugal, if we don't have immigrants, we don't have a lot of economy, a good economy, and money coming in. And immigrants are helping so much in the social security in Portugal. So that was like the biggest fact that we put when start to be this xenophobia and everything about them. Obviously, in Portugal, we don't have a policy of illegal immigrants, but we need to be tolerant and integrate these people, because we obviously know that not all countries have the democracy. Not all countries have the conditions. And for example, Spain and Portugal receive a lot of people from the North Africa countries when you see a lot of instability. So obviously the European Union is doing something really good. It's putting money in these countries. So the countries can be like, again, free, democracy and everything. So I think these two steps need to be done by the European Union. And that's something that I really value in our union, is that we fight for other countries and we don't put them there suffering alone. I think that's something that we need to be proud of being Europeans.
Thank you, Ines.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Our next guest.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm Carla, and I'm from Spain. And I could speak a lot about many problems that we have in Spain, but I think a very recent problem, and especially because it concerns youth, is the housing problem. Because it is well known that in Spain, a lot of people from northern countries from Europe, like the UK or Germany or Norway, or these countries that are richer than Spain, a lot of people go on vacation to the coast of Spain, to the islands. It is well known to be like the holiday place to Europe.
Swedish people love to go to Spain for vacation.
Yes. She even lives there now.
So the thing is that now more and more people from abroad are buying the houses in almost every city in Spain. And the prices are raising a lot, like really a lot. And it doesn't match up with the salaries that we get, especially young people. Like if you wanna move out and like be independent, and don't live with your parents anymore.
Impossible. Yeah.
Impossible.
How are you gonna do it if you are earning maybe 1,000 euros per month?
Yeah.
And you have to pay 700 for rent
Oh my God.
or
It's
things like
impossible,
that, you
yeah.
know. So, and you cannot buy a house, of
No.
course,
No, of
because
course,
you know.
Yeah, 100%.
So
Yeah.
no, the problem is not that they are from other countries. That's not. I don't think that's the problem.
No, no, no.
Of course, well, but the problem is that there has to be a regulation
Yeah.
or something
Yeah.
so that we can access houses on our own country.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Because otherwise, people where they are doing, they are moving abroad.
It's
So
like-
we are kind of
yeah.
exchanging,
Yeah.
you know. We are moving
yeah.
to Germany, and Germans
Yeah.
are moving to Spain.
It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
this international gentrification almost, you know?
Yeah.
When it's like a area is being like built like so many new apartments that it's like it's not affordable for the people living there, so it just pushes out the
Yeah,
local
the
Exactly.
local
communities.
community. Yeah.
Exactly. You go to the center of Madrid. I'm from Madrid.
Yeah.
And in the center of Madrid, there's a lot of course, specialty coffee and everything. And,
Yeah.
you pay 10 euros for a coffee, which in
Yeah.
Spain
I
is
feel guilty
insane.
for, like,
Because in
buying
Spain,
those.
Yeah.
I used to pay €1.50 for a coffee. And now in the center of Madrid.
I agree.
But, you know, the thing is that the prices is because the people that are buying are richer, of course,
Yeah.
than us.
Yeah.
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 So I think that's a big problem.
Yeah, that's so interesting because we don't have that problem in Sweden. It's not that people are coming to Sweden to maybe for like study and stuff,
Yeah,
but not for like buying a summer house
No, no,
in
no.
Sweden.
But I think it's a very good reminder, especially for Swedish people, to keep
Yeah.
their respect when traveling, because I know that Swedish people are known for being this big group of tourists
Yeah.
and coming and just like, and this is, you know,
disrespectful,
normal, like,
yeah.
you know, in Sweden we are just calm and don't do anything, but then we go abroad and we just like, we go
Crazy,
crazy
yeah.
and don't respect the environment and so on. So I think it's a great reminder, and also think about like actively when you're trying to like rent accommodation,
Yeah.
like look for more sustainable options, because there are so much local communities that are trying to, you know, create a
Yeah.
better economy.
Yeah, try out to do smart
Yeah.
tourism.
Exactly.
You
Yeah,
know?
yeah. Smart tourism.
Yeah, smart tourism. Got it. On my head.
Thank you. And we have our last
But
guest.
not least.
Not least, of course.
Hi, my name is Piotr and I'm from Poland. You have mentioned racism at the beginning, and
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think that's the most current issue in Poland. Because for many years, like since the beginning of time, I would say, Poland was associated as a country where people would like to live in order to search for a job abroad.
Yeah.
But right now, because of the very fast economic growth, we have a very, like the lowest unemployment in Europe and higher wages. So people actually want to stay in Poland when I talk to my friends, but also that means a lot of people want to migrate to Poland. And it's like a shocking situation for most of the people living in Poland, because in bigger cities, tourist cities, people are used to seeing people, foreigners and so on, hearing different languages and so on. But in smaller cities or even medium-sized cities, there were some people that have never saw a person of color in their life.
Wow.
Because, for example, I live in a city that has like 70,000 people.
Yeah.
And in primary school, secondary school, we had no person of color at all. Hundreds people going to school, no person of color.
Yeah.
So you can see that right now people, because of the fact that they are migrating to Poland, looking for a job, searching for a new life, people in smaller and medium-sized cities, they are just like afraid. And we have just concluded the election season because we had presidential election, and some candidates, they were spreading like a very disgusting misinformation that migrants are a threat to us, that they will, that every migrant is a thief and we should be afraid of them. So some people were like really clinging on this narrative and spreading this misinformation throughout the social media. So I think it's like we really need a migration policy because we don't have any migration policy. And I think it's like a chance for our nation, because if people want to come to our country, pay taxes, work for the GDP and so on, I think it's like so beneficial for the whole society.
100%.
But people don't understand this. I mean, some people understand, but some people still are afraid. So I think that's the job we have to do. And the fact also that happened in the past year is that we accepted more than 2 million people from Ukraine because of the escalation of the war. And at first we all of the people in Poland accepted Ukrainians with open arms, and it was like a very touching moment of the neighbors helping each other. But right now, three years after the escalation of this war, I think a lot of people also grasp onto this anti-Ukrainian narrative. And this narrative is made by Russians through the social media bots, through some hidden agents. And more people become anti-Ukrainian because of this hidden Russian narrative. So I think Polish society is really tend to like receive the misinformation and to change quickly their mindset.
Yeah.
It has a positive trait to it, because if you spread a positive information, I see it, but when I spread the positive information, I see that people are really interested and they listen. So they're like, maybe it's not a good word, but like a small child. They receive a lot of information, but you have to like give them a good information. But on the other hand, when they receive this misinformation, they also tend to believe in it. So I think we should deal with this pro-Russian narrative, because it's dividing the country and causing this anti-Ukrainian narrative as well.
Well, it's so inspiring to hear how the work that you're trying to do and trying to spread this positive like narrative. Because as you say, that is something, I mean, it's very sad, but it's also some potential there, right? Because in Sweden too, we've had these, people came to Sweden from all parts of the world since the 60s and onwards, and it's been increasing. And unfortunately, we still have these stereotypes of like immigrants are illegal, even if we had it for many years and Poland has. However, that is also a sign of that this is something that we learn. It's not like inherit, it's something that we actively, socially learn each other, but that means that we can unlearn it. And there is great potential in that, and the fact that you are trying to spread this like anti-narrative in a positive way, so inspiring. I get very, like, even if we talk about heavy subjects, I get very inspired to see how you all are trying to work against it with your platforms, in your communities and contexts. And thank you so much for like teaching us.
So thank you so much for inspiring us, at least. And we try to like keep this up and have a guest in our podcast. Maybe not always in English, but it would be great. We will see in the future.
But let's end on a positive note. Like, if we can go around the table with like 1 or 2 words on how to keep on, like how to have the energy to keep on the work. Could you
educate, as you said, you know, and as Piotr said, like people, like you have to treat them like as a child, you know. A child like doesn't have like bad intention or thoughts. Are the adults that sometimes, you know, educate them to do. So we have to re-educate them, and maybe re-educate.
Very good.
As I mentioned before, I would say raising awareness again.
Raising awareness.
Because since in Hungary the banning Pride news started circulating, so many people from outside of the country said that they are also going to join our Budapest Pride to show support for the LGBT community, of course, and also to prove a point that this is European democracy, having the right to go out and protest and go out on the street. So it's super important. So 28th of June, Budapest Pride.
Wow!
Yay! So education with go and vote, because every vote is really important, and stay strong, basically, because
I love that.
it's not easy.
No,
it's not easy. It's a long journey, and we need to stay strong and believe in what we are talking about.
Super nice. Thank you.
I would say value the young talents there are in every country, and if you don't take care of them, they will leave. If they cannot live in their own country, they will leave. So your country will be missing these talents. So value.
Wow.
Yeah, and I think correct every misinformation that you hear, because I do it on my TikTok account. When I hear somebody saying, "Oh, Ukrainians are stealing our Polish money," then I say, because of the Ukrainians, our pension system is actually balanced, so they are giving us the money, so we should be thankful to them. So, like, this really simple corrections of this misinformation works, and I think we should spread it every time we can.
Wow. And I think that your words are really like, you can apply it to any type of like change that you're trying to make. raising awareness, education, stay strong, value,
yeah.
and also correct misinformation. Like I even can apply that to myself in my own life, you know, to just like feel better.
What would you say?
What do I say? Open heart, open mind.
Open heart, open mind. Oh, wow.
Say.
Yeah, I would say like be kind to each other. I think because
Yeah.
we're all humans,
Yeah.
right? And we all make mistakes and
Yes.
stuff. And it's okay to do mistakes, but the important thing is what you do afterwards, right? So I think be kind to each other, be
Yeah.
respectful, and spread some love.
Spread some love.
On Pride too,
On
right?
Pride, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for taking your time. Please enjoy the rest of the conference. We will.
Yeah.
And thank you for everyone listening. If there's someone new from, I don't know, from Poland or from Spain, Portugal, Italy, anywhere, Hungary, so nice that you were here listening with us. Go on and try to meet friends outside of your countries. It's very
Yeah.
rewarding. We feel that with you guys. So, thank you for listening.
See you till next
and
time.
see you next time. Bye-bye.
Tack så mycket.
Hey.